Okay, I'm gonna call this one I don't know, confessions, Department of Rehabilitation, Vocational Department of Rehabilitation confessions, or whatever you want to call it. My journey, the last 3 years or so. I should probably start with stories. You know, everything's connected. The reason I do stuff is connected to reasons of things I did in the past, and why I'm doing the things I'm doing now, or because of things I experienced before now. But my brother almost died one time in a street fight up in Nederland, Colorado, where I lived. I was his neighbor. I lived next to him in a different house up there in the mountains, and he was jumped. He was intoxicated. Me and him were out drinking. It was a pretty good night, but my brother drank. He used to back then drink to excess, and he's a big guy. He looks like back then he looked like a Viking. You know, he had super long red hair and a big long beard. Tends to get obnoxious when he drinks and get loud and, you know, boisterous. And anyways, he said some stupid shit and did some dumb things that night, but he didn't hurt nobody. But he was kicking a door, and some people misinterpreted the action as he was going to ensue in violence. So, but they were drunk too. These people were all coked up and drunk too. It was the owners of this bar up there, the Pioneer Inn, and they came out and they kicked the shit out of him, man. They jumped him, and I'm there talking to an ex at this point, Danielle, witnessed the whole thing. They pounded on my brother. They jumped on him, and they were beating him to death. These drunken hillbillies up in Nederland, Colorado. One of which is still up there. He owns the Pioneer Inn. He's a piece of shit motherfucker that, you know, basically because the bars pay taxes in this tiny little town, that, you know, they have influence over some of the organizations up there. Let's just say that, leave it at that. But you know, to make a long story short, this is going on 3-4 years ago, but it affects even what goes on with me now. I was there. I got him home. This melee happened for about 45 minutes. I had a knife on me. I'll show you. I don't carry this shit on me anymore, but back then I used to carry this shit. Living in the mountains, you never know when you're going to come up on a mountain lion or some shit. But I carried this knife on me. Pretty big fucking knife. I wear rings, you know. I used to wear a lot more rings back then, and I still do sometimes. You know, I wear big ass rings I put on. And that night I had a ring on every finger. I could have beat these guys to death. I could have killed all 7 of them motherfuckers. At that point in my life, I'd been training and weightlifting, and I was a fierce person to be reckoned with. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to paint a picture of how badass I was. The point is that I was badass enough to where 3 guys 3 times tried to extinguish my life that night. They held me down, and they tried to kick in my throat. I think I talk about this in my video, Bodybuilding Saved My Life. But I got my brother home. I didn't get any hits to my face. I never hit anybody myself. Never got hit in the face that night. Got pushed, got pulled, got choke holded, got, 3 guys holding on me and 1 guy trying to kick me in my throat, but not 1 punch was landing on my nugget. I got my brother home, and it took about 45 minutes we got home. He looked like Mr. Potato Head. They beat the shit out of it, my brother. But that led to me quitting tattooing for a year, just because it fucked me up. I was apprenticing at a Tungsten Trail tattoo shop. I'd made some strides towards my goals, and they all got crushed because this small-minded town that I lived in, everybody talked a whole bunch of shit after it happened. And naturally, because I'm the most identifiable person in the whole situation, even though I had nothing to do with any of it, I was out babysitting my brother, basically, because I knew he'd been drinking too much. His wife sent me out to keep an eye on him, because she knew he'd get in trouble, too. I was ostracized from the community, both by the law enforcement, by the tattoo shop I worked, and everybody. So I left. I said, I don't need to be in this town. So I quit being there. I moved away. I was going to go to Portland. Ended up getting stuck in Longmont because of some health issues with my thyroid and such. But I quit tattooing for a year, and I was going downhill just depression-wise. And I decided right before 2012, I believe, to just go into the Department of Rehabilitation in Longmont and see if they could help me get more training to become a tattoo artist. I brought in my art. I was determined to have this group help me because I qualify for help from the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, because actually I'm a diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, which not too many people know. I don't care if anybody knows at this point. I had a lot of problems when I was younger, and I still do have some problems, but there's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing for me to be judged, deemed unworthy as a human being for. It's just the facts. So that's part of the reason why I'm able to get grants to go to tattoo schools, which is ironic, that they're going to give money to a paranoid schizophrenic and teach them how to tattoo people. But that's the case being. Now, dealing with the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation has made me more crazy, and that's just a fact. I can give you some examples, but let me use the last one. And I have better examples than this, but this one just sums up everything. Last Thursday, I had to get some supplies. I called them last Wednesday, actually. I was like, I need supplies. You said you would help me get supplies because I cannot tattoo fruit, fake skin myself, other people, unless I have at least gloves. Some just rudimentary, I was going to be expected to tattoo myself there the following week because that's something they think I need to do in order to continue getting better at tattooing, which I've already tattooed myself. I don't mind tattooing myself, but I'm not going to start something new. He tried to talk me into starting a new piece. I'm like, no, man, I already have pieces I've started I need to work on. If I'm going to tattoo myself, I'm going to continue working on my legs. And actually, after thinking about it, I don't want to tattoo myself. I've been advised by older, more experienced tattoo artists, don't tattoo yourself. Pay other people to get it done right. It's harder to tattoo yourself than it is to actually tattoo others. Just because you have, a lot of times you don't have all your, it's just harder. It's harder to move around. It's uncomfortable dealing with the pain on top of the accuracy of trying to put in the tattoo. So I'll still tattoo myself in the future. I'm not saying I won't. It's just I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. And I shouldn't have to do it to prove that I know how to tattoo. But whatever, I was going to do that. I think everything's on hold now because of stuff that has happened. But I went in, I told him I needed supplies. I needed 6 things: paper towels, gloves, razors, bandages, bandage tape, cloth bandage tape, and Bactine. Some kind of like clean. Actually, I needed green soap. They didn't have green soap, so I asked for this hibiscus stuff and Bactine. It was a total of like 7 things. I think it was 6 though. It took over a week. I told them if they could just call in the order to the Walmart up the street, they have everything I need on the shelf. Yeah, I can go in there. I can go get it. You can reimburse me. Oh no, we can't do that because there's only 5 people that have a state-controlled credit card, so we have to run everything up the ladder and make sure that. Okay, fine. How long is it going to take to get this stuff? Because I need it yesterday. Actually, I need it. If I'm going to continue this program, I'm not going to bring my own gloves and use them at this school because I'm just not going to do it. I already told them if I'm going to this school, you guys are going to provide the materials I need because the school doesn't provide it. I don't have the money to do that. I'm not paying money out of my pocket to buy gloves to tattoo fruit. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna happen. So, make a long story short, it took 6 people over 6 days to get 6 items that they split into 2 orders. One order was expeditedly shipped from Walmart across town to the DVR across town. One order I've yet to pick up because Walmart hasn't figured out how to put the 2 items together, or I don't fucking know at this point. The guy, my state counselor, called the front desk lady to call Walmart, he then realized had to call a supervisor, who then realized they had to call the state controller, credit card controller to get permission in order to get the expedited shipping. All this shit that had to happen to get 6 fucking goddamn items. I told my guys, we could have all gotten a car with one item on that list, and drove there and got it quicker and cheaper. That's the thing. Dealing with the state, you talk about ridiculousness. Stuff that costs probably like $25, because I used the state to get it. If you factor in the man hours it took for them to fill out paperwork and have it sent and call the calls and call me and email me and make sure me to send pictures, screenshots of it's so fucking ridiculous. It took 6 days to get 6 things. And that was fast. That's the fastest I've ever got anything from DVR. So, it's a joke. The Department of Vocational Rehabilitation is so overwhelmed. I feel bad for my counselor. He said he's got 157 clients other than me. And I guarantee I'm his most assertive, demanding client because I go in there and I have what I want and they give it to me. Because that's what they're there for. I'm pushy. I'm just the way I am. It's my personality. It's the only way you get things done in the world. Nice guys finish last most of the time. I don't go in a place like, oh, you please. No, I'm like, here's your job. This is what you're supposed to do. Here's what you need to do it. Now pack it in that little box. Give me my receipt. I'll sign. Let's get out of here. I got things to do. So, dealing with DVR has made me insane, more insane. I'm more insane after seeing the bureaucracy. My fiance that I'm getting married to works for the county, so she works for like the city bureaucracy. Hear about all the shit she does, because she works in like a paperwork filing department for IT, like documents and shit. And then you see what the state has to deal with, and then you truly start to understand why the federal government is so fucked up, So, I've been given an opportunity, they call it, to rehabilitate myself, going to these went to the Denver Body Art School and now the Blue Rose Tattoo School. Didn't work. I'm not rehabilitated. I don't feel rehabilitated at all. I feel crazier. I feel less likely to want to participate in the game. I don't care anymore. I want to become more like Van Gogh in his later years, Just leave me the fuck alone. Give me some cabinets and paints and, some coffee. Just leave me alone. I don't want to play. I don't want to participate. I can find people to tattoo. I'm a good enough artist, and I do go out, and pretty much whenever I go, all I do is talk about tattoos with people because they assume I'm a tattoo artist anyways. So it's not going to be hard for me to find people to tattoo. But I don't know if I'm going to do it the right way anymore. And I am of the personality that does have some emotional variables and fluctuations that could be considered artistic in extreme nature. That's me. I don't care. So I guess that's my confession to the world. Because people are always like, oh, what do you do for a living? Well, I get a check. I've been getting a check for over 10 years. I was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic back in 2002. I got a medical reevaluation next year. Maybe they'll say I'm sane again. I doubt it, but, maybe. Maybe I'll be working at fucking Walmart in a year. Being that guy I don't want to be, but I hope not. I really hope that in the next year I can work hard at tattooing so that a year from, maybe at some point next year I can start making a livable wage tattooing and not have to get a Social Security check. I don't. The whole reason I went into the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation is I don't want to get a check anymore. I want to participate in the world in a true function of a human being that isn't being supported by those around him via the government check, I understand that I should give back, and I do. I want to pay taxes. I want to make more money than what I get. That's the bottom line. I'm tired of being broke. The $600 I get a month ain't shit. It doesn't you can't eat healthy. You can't take care of yourself in this country very well with $600. $700 even, when your rent's almost that, to live in a decent place. My rent here is $750. If I wasn't getting Section 8, housing, I'd be totally screwed. I don't get food stamps anymore thanks to, changes that have been made. But I still work. I still work here and there, and I do what I can, but I haven't had a steady job in, a long time. And I don't want to. Work is slavery nowadays. That's how I look at it. If you're working a minimum wage job, you're paying to be a slave with your life and your time. And I feel sorry for those people, and I don't ever want to be one of them. I'd rather play an accordion on the street for change. I did that for some points in my life. I don't care. It's not like I'll be broke. I will eat. I will sleep. I will survive. But that's my confession. I guess that's really kind of news to all my followers, if anybody even cares. But that's a confession I have to get off my chest, because dealing with this state and the feds over the years has been, yeah, I get a check, but man, I pay for it in stress. And I pay for it in other ways, like you're always got that, I don't know, what's the Greek myth, the Damocles blade hanging over your head. You never know when it's going to be cut off and you're going to die or be forced to move or not have money to eat, Stress that it's not a lot of people, everybody has that, no job's guaranteed, even whatever. But, so that's why I get the check, that's why I deal with the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, and that's why I'm going to school, because I'm trying to better my life. So, I'm sure there will be a lot of haters on this video, and I'm sure Republicans can use it as an example of why everything has failed in the world. I don't care. I'm still going to do what I do, and maybe I can be the world's most famous paranoid schizophrenic tattoo artist. because that's what I'm heading towards. But you know, I really seriously am contemplating hiring somebody to write my book for me at this point, because the stories I've collected in my life, I have to disguise as fiction now. I have many rants and raves and just insane things that I've seen in this world that I can only laugh now and want to like hermitize myself away from it more, because it is getting more bizarre. The more novelty that is introduced, the more bizarre it becomes, and novelty is abundant in this culture. This you know, it's just it's. Sometimes I walk around and see what's going on, and I'm just like, wow, I feel so old. I feel old now. Like I understand how old people would have felt when I was younger, looking around, and now it's like, wow. Man, this world's weird. And I'm fucking supposed to be the weirdo. But I guess that's my rant on DVR, bureaucracy, Social Security, all that stuff. So, if you have any comments, let me know. I'll do a follow-up video to this that says how everything ended up with the Blue Rose Tattoo School and my journey, you know. And friend me on Facebook. I will be tattooing still. And I'll still be struggling like a lot of people I know, just to make my life better. That's all I'm trying to do. Really, that's all aren't we all trying to do? Just make, I mean, if you're not, then you're not trying very hard, because that's what everybody I think is trying to do. If not, you are crazy. I'm trying to make my life better. I'm trying to better my situation. I'm trying to be a better person. But the more I deal with people and organizations, the more I feel like to better myself, the less I need to deal with those things, including most people. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people. I'm sick of lies. I'm sick of egos and projections, and I want to be left the fuck alone for a while. I mean, I still want a tattoo, but it's what I want to tattoo from here on out. And I'm going to take tattooing on like a beast, but in a different way. I'm not going to listen to anybody anymore. I'm going to just tattoo. That's what I've decided. License the tattoo. Whether I have it or not, I'm going to fucking tattoo. I'm going to be the best tattoo artist I can at this moment. When I pick up that machine and load that ink into that tube, my goal is going to be to do the best tattoo I can. And I'm going to continue with that philosophy till the day I die. So thank you for your views. Let me know what you think of this 3-part series. I feel better after doing it. So have a great day.